Hello everyone, I'm Ariana and welcome back to my channel. So for today I do have I feel like I have a pretty exciting video. So Angelica Nyqvist, she is Swedish, she's a Swedish YouTuber. I love her channel, She has a lot of great takes on colorful eye looks. She does a lot of colorful eye looks. I'm really inspired by her, and she did this limited edition makeup tag several weeks back that I'm really interested in doing. However, I wanted to put my own twist on it and kind of do a get ready with me style video while answering the questions. And since the tag is all about limited edition makeup, I'm going to be using limited edition and discontinued items to do my face while we get ready and talk about all these things that I have to talk about. So if you're ready, we'll just go ahead and get started. So I'm just gonna start by priming my face, and I'm using the Hard Candy Sheer Envy Primer Perfecting. This is not limited edition or discontinued. I just don't have any primers that are limited edition or discontinued. So let me just go ahead and prime my eyelids. I'm using this e.l.f. HD Lifting Concealer. It is on its last leg. This is also still available, not limited edition or discontinued, but I promise I'll be getting into those things after this step. And to set my primer, I'm going to use the Tarte Rainforest of the Sea Volume 2 eyeshadow palette. Y'all know how I feel about Tarte right now. I'm not buying anything from Tarte, but since I already own these things, I'm just going to use them. Alright, so let me get on to the first question here. And the first question is, what limited edition item am I the most happy I got my hands on? And the only good answer for that, the only true real answer for that is the entire Urban Decay Basquiat collection. I did an entire video. I purchased the entire collection. Everything. I am obsessed with Jean-Michel Basquiat. He's my favorite artist of all time. And so of course I had to purchase all of these things with his lovely art on them. So that is the thing that I am most happy I purchased, and I'm actually going to use it today. I'm going to use this pink shade right here called 1960. But yeah, I am so happy that I bought this. And the only thing about this whole collection is that the eyeshadow palettes are not as great as they could have been. I feel like they really skimped on the quality because it was limited edition. So I don't think that this is something worth trying to find on eBay or something like that, but I'm really glad I got it because of the packaging. Okay, so back to these questions. What limited edition item could I have done without? I'm gonna say the Tarte Rainforest of the Sea palette. The quality is just a little weird. The shadows are kind of hard to work with. Pretty much all of these matte shades have super hard pan in them, and they're really hard to use. They're like super hard to use. It's difficult to get any decent pigment out of them. I do love the packaging, it's so cute. But yeah, I just think they could have done a little bit better with the quality. I think the shadows were supposed to be some kind of an aqua formula or something like that, but I don't know, that didn't really work out too well. So I'm gonna go back into the Basquiat palette, the Tinted palette, and I'm gonna go into this shade right here, this beautiful like teal color called Boom. And the eye look that I'm doing was actually inspired by Angelica Nyqvist. It wasn't the limited edition makeup tag, but it was one of her more recent videos. Yeah, these are really difficult to work with, but it's okay, I'm gonna make it work. Okay, let me see about this next question here. What brand does limited edition best? This question is difficult to answer, and I'm about to go into this Tarte Make Believe in Yourself palette, and I'm gonna go into the shade Mystic here with my Bobbi Brown concealer brush. The brand that I feel like does limited edition the best is honestly ColourPop. And I know some people feel like ColourPop releases way too many palettes at one time, and it's always palettes. It's almost always palettes. Even though they release a ton of stuff all the time, it seems like they're constantly coming out with a new collection. The quality never suffers. The quality is always good with ColourPop. And even though the palettes look really similar, you don't have to buy them all. You can kind of pick the one that you like the best and go with that. And the fact that they're all extremely affordable, like most of their eyeshadow palettes are $16 and they go on sale for maybe like $12 or so. A lot of other brands tend to kind of skimp on the quality of their limited edition makeup because they know that it's something that they're producing really quickly. They just want to get it out to the people and make their money. But ColourPop doesn't do that. I don't care how many palettes. They could release 10 new palettes this week and every single one of them is going to be good and affordable. And I just can't beat that. I can't knock that. They're a good brand. What brand does limited edition the worst? Obviously Tarte and Too Faced. All of their limited edition collections are super random. The quality is always less than their permanent items, almost always less than, it's not as good as their permanent items. And the color schemes are always kind of wonky. They mostly sell their limited edition items based on the packaging. Okay, so I need to do my foundation next. I've already done my primer. So I'm just taking a little bit of this e.l.f. Aqua Mousse foundation. I'm using this little e.l.f. tray. It's a little dirty, but it's okay. And I'm just gonna take a little bit of that and a little bit of this Fiona Styles Luminous Finish foundation because it's a little bit dark for me and the e.l.f. one kind of helps me lighten it up a little bit, but I love the finish. It's just so beautiful. I love this little mixing board. This thing was only $2 and it was 100% worth it. I use it all the time. So that's a little bit better of a color match for me. What's one thing I wish was not limited edition? I'm gonna say the Fenty Cosmic Glosses from the holidays. Those things were great. Those glosses were really nice and they were different. But they were also lip plumping glosses and the colors were really, just seemed really unique. I think that those glosses 100% should have been permanent. And for concealer, I'm gonna use this e.l.f. All Over Cover Stick in the shade Honey. This was discontinued for a reason, I'm sure. I don't love it, but it is really easy to apply in the mornings when I'm trying to get ready for work. And the next question is, what limited edition item do you wish you could have gotten your hands on? Like, what is the one that got away? And for me, the one that got away is definitely the Urban Decay Basquiat Vault. I really wanted the vault because each of the pieces that it comes with, like each of the palettes is its own work of art. So you can hang them up on your walls. I have mine hung up on my wall. But with the vault, it came with this huge box that all of the products were in. And you could also hang the giant box, which was also a print of Basquiat's paintings. You could hang the whole thing on the wall. And I really wanted that simply just to hang on my wall. I also wanted all the products inside, but I really wanted, one, to get the deal of the vault, and two, to get the actual vault that I could hang up on my wall. But I waited way too long to try to click on that button, and I missed out. And I will forever be upset that I missed out on that. The only thing that makes me feel slightly better is the fact that I ended up getting all of the pieces anyway, and I got them all on sale. So I got all of the pieces for less money than I would have spent if I had gotten the vault, but I still wanted the vault. Okay, to set my under eyes, I'm gonna use my Sephora Contour and Highlight Kit. This was limited edition. You all know this by now because it's been in my project pan this year, and I'm really trying to use it up. And I'm just using the pink shade in Romantic. The other one's more of a yellow tone. All right, so the next question is, what limited edition item do you feel made the most sense to go permanent? Because I know that that does happen sometimes where brands will say that something's limited edition and then it turns out not to be limited edition. They end up bringing it back permanently. And sometimes that's really annoying for people who kind of went out of their way to purchase something just because it was limited edition. But then also it can be a good thing for people who maybe didn't have the opportunity to buy it at the time of the initial launch. So anyway, to answer that question, I'm gonna have to say something that I don't own, which is the Too Faced Peach Palette, I think it's called. Yes, the Peach Palette. That apparently was supposed to be limited edition. But they decided to bring it back permanent, and I think that that makes complete sense because it's a warm tone palette. It's a very peachy tone palette with like some purples and pops of, I think there's like a purple and a pop of green. There are some different colors in there that they've thrown. But I think that that was a smart decision to make. I think that was fine, bringing it back bringing it in as permanent, because it was really on trend, especially when it came out, and it's really on trend even now. People are still loving the warm tones, the peachy colors, the peachy nudes. People like that kind of stuff. So it made 100% sense for them to bring that out into a permanent line. And they also brought out an entire collection, which I think was also really smart. Apparently it smells like peaches. I'm not personally interested in buying the palette, but I think business-wise it was smart. Alright, so I'm going to go back into this pink shade with this angled, it just says defining eye brush from e.l.f. So question number 8 is, what permanent item should have been limited edition? And I'm just going to take this pink on my lower lash line here and connect it to the top. But something that was limited edition that became permanent that I think should have stayed limited edition is the Jaclyn Hill Morphe palette. There was so much drama surrounding that palette. When she initially released it, it was supposed to be limited edition. That's what she said multiple times. It was not becoming permanent. It seemed like she was constantly restocking though. Like every time it would sell out, she'd be like, it's cool, there's another restock coming. But then she would be like, this is the last restock. But then it would sell out and she would say that there's more coming. It just seemed like a mess. It seemed like she was basically lying to her customers, or to her followers, the people that cared about that palette. I personally didn't. Nothing about it was appealing to me. Morphe palettes are way too huge. I don't have anywhere to put them. But yeah, because of all the drama, they should have left that palette alone. They should have let it just stay limited edition. And now nobody's even talking about it. The only people that are talking about it are the people that already own the palette. And I don't think anyone is going to go through, there's like 56 shades in there or something like that. No one is going to go through all of those shades, every single one of those shades, and then feel like they need to repurchase the entire palette. I don't see that happening except for maybe a few select people. But most people are not going to go through an entire eyeshadow palette and then feel like they need to buy the whole thing again. There's way too much makeup out there for that. There's way too many options for that. Then she went on and redid the packaging, made it better, and then it seems really shady. So the best limited edition collab. This one was really difficult for me to decide on because I don't really care much about collabs. Usually if there's a collab, I'm either not interested in the influencer that's collabing with the project, or I'm not interested in the actual products being released. So this one was really difficult for me, but I did finally come up with an answer, and it is the e.l.f. Alissa Ashley Gloss in the shade Nude Rose. I think that this was a really great collaboration. I love Alissa Ashley. I love her channel. And she's such a sweet person. I think she was a great person to collab with because she's all about being inclusive. So she wanted to release an item that was gonna work for most people. And I think that this gloss really did that. And the packaging is super cute. And it was really affordable, so anyone could get their hands on this. This was only $6. It did run out of stock, but she restocked it, and she's restocked it again a second time. But I just like that this is a gloss, so anyone can wear it. It's really comfortable. Here, I'll try some on now. Okay. I don't have any lip products on. Yes, and it's just so comfortable on the lips. So for liner, I think I'm gonna try this Wet n Wild Mega Liner. It's a metallic liquid eyeliner in the shade Trident Shimmer. This came from last year's summer collection. I think it was actually a fall collection. It was the Midnight Mermaid collection. And I have not tried this liner since I purchased it. This is really hard to apply. Maybe it's because it might be dried out. Okay, liner is on. It doesn't look too bad actually. Okay, I also need to set these smile lines before this starts going awry. This is the e.l.f. mineral powder. They don't make this anymore, but they do have other powders. If I don't do this, my smile lines look absolutely crazy. Okay, and I'm gonna use this Becca Light Chaser highlighter in the shade Champagne Dreams. These are really beautiful and they're kind of cool. They flash one color, and they flash another. This one's hard to tell. These are still available, but if you're my shade, I don't really suggest the Champagne Dreams because it just kind of shows up as a regular pink highlighter. You can't really tell the peachy undertones. I also have the shade Topaz Flashes Gilt, which is like a gold that flashes a really bright emerald green. And then I have Jade Flashes something or other. I don't know if you can really tell on camera, but this gives a really nice peachy pink shimmer. Okay, so I just tightlined and I just used this Lancome Hypnose mascara for my eyelashes. This isn't limited edition either, but I really like this mascara. But anyway, the very, very last question of this is, what collabs do you want to see more of? And my answer to that is, I would really like to see more collaborations with influencers and people of color, because the more collabs we have with influencers of color, or even brands whose like CEO is a person of color, the more of that we have, then the more representation we have in the beauty industry. When we continue to have these collaborations with white influencers, everything that they create is going to be geared towards people with a lighter skin tone. That is just how it is. Of course, if I come out with a collaboration with someone, which may never ever happen, but if I did, I know that I would do it so that it would fit my skin tone, because if I'm creating something, I want it to work for me. So of course, anyone else is going to do the same thing. But if we continue to only have white people collaborating with these brands, then of course they're going to continue to create products that are only going to work for lighter skin tones, or that will mostly cater to people with lighter skin tones. But if we have darker influencers or just people of color creating these collaborations, it's going to be a little bit more inclusive, and that is just a fact. That is something I'd like to see. I really need to contour though. That's the last question. That is the very last question, but I have got to bronze my face because I look really pale right now. So I used the Basquiat eyeshadows quite a bit, but I hardly ever use this face palette. I'm gonna use one of the blushes in here. I think I'm gonna go with this shade right here called X-Rated. Okay, I'm done with my look, so I'm gonna use this MAC Prep and Prime Fix Plus spray. This is one of the minis from the holiday set. It came in a set of 3. One smells like coconut, one smells like rose, this one smells like lavender. And yeah, that completes this video. I hope you really like the eye look I came out with. I kind of like it. I think it turned out really nice. But anyway, let me know how you feel about my eye look. Let me know how you feel. Let me know how you feel about this video. Let me know how you feel about limited edition items. If you want to do this tag, this is Angelica Nikvist's tag. I don't have any control over what you do, but just make sure that you credit her and let her know that I sent you, maybe. If you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I'll see you the next time. Bye!